Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something right from the start. Everybody wants success. Everybody wants to live their dream. But the truth is, the real secret to success, the one nobody talks about, it ain't just talent. It ain't just hard work. It ain't just luck. The secret is this. Success comes when you refuse to quit, when you embrace failure as part of the journey, and when you align your gift with God's plan for your life. Now let me break this down for you. One, success starts with a vision. If you don't know where you're going, you're just running in circles. You got to see it before you have it. That's why the Bible says a man without a vision shall perish. When I was broke, sleeping in my car, eating sandwiches made of crackers and ketchup, I still had a vision. I saw myself on stage. I saw myself making people laugh. I saw myself using my gift to change lives. That vision kept me alive. Listen, if you don't write your dream down, if you don't see it, you're gonna lose it. Let me tell you something, people. You will never reach success until you first see success. You can't chase something you ain't pictured in your mind. See, the problem with most folks is not that they dream too big, it's that they don't dream at all. They wake up, go to work, pay bills, and repeat. But life wasn't meant to be just survival. God didn't put you here just to exist. He put you here with a dream, with a vision, with something burning inside of you. Now, let me break this down. A vision is more than just a wish. Wishing says, I hope one day I get lucky. Vision says, I know where I'm sitting headed, and I'm sitting willing to fight for it. When I was living in my car, broke, no money, no home, I still had a vision. I would close my eyes and see myself on TV, standing on a stage, making people laugh. I didn't have it in my hands yet, but I had it in my head. And that's where it starts. The Bible says, write the vision and make it plain. You got to put it down on paper, write it on your mirror, stick it on your wall, carry it in your wallet. Because when life gets tough, and it will, your vision is what will keep you moving forward. Here's the truth. If you don't control your vision, somebody else will. If you don't decide where you're going, you'll spend your life working for somebody else's dream. So how do you start? First, ask yourself, what do I really want? Not what your mama wants, not what your friends expect. What do you want? Second, write it down. Be specific. Don this set, just say, I want to be successful. Say, I want to own a business. I want to buy my mama a house. I want to get out of debt. I want to inspire millions. Third, see it every day. Talk about it. Pray about it. Believe it even when nobody else sees it. Vision is powerful because it gives you direction. A person with vision can't be stopped. Even if you knock them down, they'll get back up because they know where they're going. Remember this. Your reality follows your vision. If you can't see yourself winning, you never will. But if you can see it, speak it, believe it, and act on it, sooner or later, it will show up in your life. 2, the secret nobody tells you, failure is part of the process. See, everybody claps for success, but nobody claps when you fail. And guess what? You're gonna fail a lot. I failed more times than I can count. I bombed on stage, I lost jobs, I went broke, but every single failure was a lesson. Every no pushed me closer to my yes. The problem with most people is they quit when they fail. But the secret nobody tells you is failure ain't the opposite of success. It's part of success. Failure is one of those things most people run from, but let me tell you the truth. You cannot have success without failure. Every person you admire, every millionaire, every inventor, every leader, they all got a trail of failures behind them. The problem is people only show you the highlight reel. You see the success, the money, the stage lights, but you don't see the nights they cried, the doors that slammed in their faces, the times they doubted themselves. And that's why most people quit, because they think failure means it's over. But failure doesn't mean you're finished. Failure means you're learning. Think about it. When a baby is learning to walk, they fall dozens of times. Nobody looks at that baby and says, walking ain't for you. No, you cheer them on, you clap, you encourage them, and eventually they figure it out. But grown folks, we fall once and suddenly we think the dream is dead. That's because nobody ever told us the secret. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a step on the way to success. Every single time I failed in comedy, every time a crowd booed me, every time I got told no, I was actually getting closer to the one, yes, that would change my life. You got to start looking at failure like tuition. You pay for lessons in college, right? Well, in life, you pay with failure. That's how you learn what works and what doesn't. That's how you grow tougher, wiser, and sharper. So stop being afraid to fail. Stop worrying about looking silly, about being judged, about not having it all figured out. Every failure is shaping you, carving you, building you into the person who can handle the blessing when it comes. Success is not built on perfection. It's built on resilience. And if you can learn to see failure not as a wall, but as a stepping stone, you will never quit. Because the only real failure in life is walking away before your breakthrough shows up. 3, your gift is the key. Now here's the part a lot of folks overlook. God gave every single person a gift. Not talent, not skills you learned, but a gift. Your gift is that thing you do better than anybody else. The thing that comes naturally. For me, it was making people laugh. For you, it might be cooking, teaching, solving problems, building, designing, encouraging. Here's the secret. If you want real success, you don't chase money, you chase your gift. Because when you work in your gift, doors open, opportunities flow, money shows up. God has placed something inside of every single one of us, something special that sets us apart from everybody else. It's not just talent, it's not just a skill you picked up in school, it's a gift. Your gift is that thing you do effortlessly, the thing that feels natural to you but amazes everybody else. Some people can speak in a way that inspires. Some can cook a meal that makes you feel loved. Some can fix anything with their hands. Some can lead. Some can teach. Your gift is your fingerprint on this earth. It's unique to you. Now here's the problem. Too many people spend their whole lives chasing money instead of chasing their gift. And let me tell you, when you chase money, you'll always feel empty. But when you chase your gift, when you put your energy into developing that thing God gave you, the money will chase you. The opportunities will find you. Doors will open because your gift makes room for you. I knew my gift was making people laugh. I didn't learn it in school. Nobody had to teach me. It was just in me. And when I started using it, even when I was broke, even when people didn't believe in me, it began to attract opportunities I never could have imagined. That's how I ended up on TV shows, comedy tours, hosting events. It was because I leaned into my gift. Your gift is your lane. The reason a lot of people feel frustrated or stuck is because they're trying to succeed in somebody else's lane. You can't win trying to be a copy of somebody else. You win when you embrace what makes you different. So here's the challenge. Identify your gift. What's that thing you do better than most? Once you know it, work on it every single day. Don't bury it under fear, doubt, or excuses. Don't let it sit unused while you chase something that doesn't fulfill you. Because the secret is this. Your gift is the key to unlocking the life you were created for. 4, the grind nobody talks about. Now let's be real. Using your gift ain't easy. Success requires a grind that most people are not willing to do. Everybody wants to shine, but don't nobody want the sweat. Everybody wants the reward, but don't nobody want the risk. You got to be willing to wake up earlier, stay up later, sacrifice comfort, say no to distractions, and keep moving even when the crowd stops cheering. See, success is lonely. It requires discipline. It requires consistency. That's why only a few people make it. Not because they're smarter, but because they didn't quit when it got hard. Everybody wants the spotlight, but not everybody is willing to put in the work when the lights are off. That's the grind nobody talks about. See, success looks glamorous on the outside, but behind every success story is a season of sweat, sacrifice, and silence. People will celebrate you when you've made it, but they won't see the mornings you woke up before the sun, the nights you stayed up when everybody else was sleeping, the weekends you gave up while others were partying. That's the grind, and most people tap out because it's uncomfortable. The grind means you're going to be lonely sometime. It means saying no when your friends call you to hang out. It means working on your dream even when you're tired, even when you don't feel like it, even when you don't feel like it, even when nobody's watching. The grind requires discipline, and discipline ain't fun. But let me tell you, discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Without it, your dream will always stay a dream. See, success is not about who's the smartest or the most talented. Plenty of talented people never reached their potential because they weren't willing to grind. They wanted shortcuts. They wanted easy. But the truth is, there's no elevator to success. You gotta take the stairs, step by step, sweat by sweat. And here's what else people don't tell you. The grind will test you. It'll ask you, how bad do you really want it? You'll face setbacks. You'll be overlooked. You'll want to quit. But every time you push through, you build muscle, not just in your body, but in your character, in your spirit. That's the kind of strength success demands. So don't be fooled by what you see on social media. The shine comes after the grind. If you're willing to stay consistent, to keep working when nobody's clapping, one day those same people who doubted you will be the ones asking how you did it. And the answer will be simple. You kept grinding when they stopped. 5, faith over fear. Now let me be honest with you. Fear will always show up. Fear whispers in your ear. What if you fail? What if they laugh at you? What if it doesn't set work? But faith says, what if it does? The secret to success is that you gotta choose faith over fear every single day, not just once. Every single day. Faith is knowing that even if you can't see the whole staircase, God already knows the way. Your job is to take the next step. Fear is the one thing that stops more dreams than failure ever could. Fear whispers in your ear, telling you you're not good enough, that you don't have what it takes, that people will laugh at you if you try. Fear convinces people to stay comfortable, to play small, to live safe. But the truth is, everything you want is on the other side of fear. And the only thing powerful enough to silence fear is faith. Now, faith doesn't mean you won't feel afraid. Faith means you move anyway. It means you take that step even when you can't see the whole staircase. Faith is knowing that if God gave you the vision, He already prepared the provision. He already lined up the opportunities, the people, the resources. You just can't see them yet, but you'll never find them if you let fear keep you frozen. Every time I stood on a stage for the first time in front of a new crowd, I was scared. Every time I took on a new show, a new challenge, I felt that fear, but I chose faith. I told myself, if God put me here, He'll get me through it. And He did, every single time. Here's the difference. Fear focuses on what could go wrong. Faith focuses on what could go right. Fear asks, what if I fail? Faith asks, but what if I fly? That shift in perspective changes everything. You see, fear will shrink your life, but faith will expand it. Fear will keep you locked up in average, but faith will push you into abundance. And let me tell you this, you don't need a lot of faith, just a mustard seed, just enough to take one step, then take another. And soon you'll look back and realize you crossed mountains you once thought were impossible. So when fear shows up, and you gotta choose faith over and over again. Because the truth is, courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is faith moving forward in spite of fear. And that's where your breakthrough lies. 6, surround yourself with the right people. Another secret nobody tells you: the people around you will make or break your success. If everybody in your circle is broke, negative, complaining, and making excuses, guess what? You're going to be the next one. But if you surround yourself with dreamers, believers, doers, encouragers, you'll rise higher. Stop spending your precious time with people who don't believe in your vision. You ain't got time for doubters. You need people who water your dream, not people who drain it. The people you surround yourself with can either lift you higher or pull you down. And that's a truth most folks overlook. Success is not a solo journey. You might have the vision, the drive, and the gift, but if you keep the wrong crowd around you, they'll drain you before you ever get to where you're supposed to be. See, energy is contagious. Hang around negative people long enough, and their doubt becomes your doubt. Their excuses become your excuses. Their small thinking becomes your ceiling. If everyone in your circle is broke, complaining, and pointing fingers, chances are you'll end up the same way. Not because you're not capable, but because you're feeding your mind with the wrong voices. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with dreamers, doers, encouragers, people who see possibilities instead of problems, you'll rise. That's why it said, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. When I was coming up in comedy, I had to learn this the hard way. I had buddies who didn't believe in my dream, who told me to play it safe, who laughed when I said I was going to make it. If I had listened to them, I'd still be stuck in the same place, broke and hopeless. But I made a decision to distance myself from those voices and get around people who were chasing something too. People who inspired me to push harder, and that made all the difference. You don't have to cut everybody off, but you do have to protect your circle. If somebody isn't feeding your vision, watering your dream, or encouraging your growth, you got to limit the space they occupy in your life. Because here's the truth: you can't climb if you're carrying too much dead weight. So take a good look at your circle. Are they pushing you closer to your purpose or pulling you further away? Are they cheering when you win or secretly hoping you fail? Choose wisely, because your environment shapes your future. And when you surround yourself with the right people, you'll discover that success becomes a shared journey, not just a personal goal. 7, consistency beats motivation. Everybody gets motivated for a week, but consistency is what separates winners from quitters. Motivation will get you started. Consistency will get you finished. If you just do a little bit every single day, read, practice, work, build, in 1 year, you'll be unrecognizable. See, success is hidden in your daily habits. Not in one big moment, not in one lucky break, but in what you do consistently. Motivation feels good in the moment, but the truth is, it doesn't last. You can listen to a speech, watch a video, or read a book and get fired up for a day or two, but eventually that fire fades. That's where most people quit, because they think they need to feel motivated all the time in order to keep moving. But the people who succeed, the ones who actually reach their goals, they know the real secret: consistency beats motivation every single time. Consistency is about showing up whether you feel like it or not. It's waking up early when your body says sleep. It's practicing your craft even when nobody is watching. It's working on your dream when the excitement is gone. And all that's left is the discipline to keep going. Anybody can be motivated for a week, but consistency, that's what separates winners from quitters. Think of it like fitness. You can't just go to the gym once and expect results. You can't eat healthy for 3 days and suddenly be in shape. The transformation only comes when you stick with it day after day, when you keep doing the small things over and over until they add up to something big. That's exactly how success works in every area of life. What most people miss is that consistency creates momentum. Every time you show up, you build trust with yourself. You prove that you're serious about your dream. And eventually those little actions compound into big results. A year from now, 5 years from now, people will look at you and think you made some overnight leap. But the truth is, it was built in the dark through consistency. Motivation gets you started, but consistency gets you finished. So stop waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect feeling. Start today. Do something small and do it again tomorrow and again the next day. Because the dream isn't built in one big burst of inspiration. It's built in the quiet, steady grind of consistency. And if you commit to that, there is nothing you can't accomplish. 8, be willing to take the leap. Listen, sometimes you gotta jump. You gotta take that leap of faith. Your parachute won't open right away. You're gonna scrape up your back, you're gonna hit some rocks, but eventually that parachute, your gift, is gonna open. And when it does, that sits when you feel sore. The secret is, most people never jump because they're too afraid of falling. But you can't fly if you never leave the ground. There comes a point in every dreamer's life where planning, preparing, and praying has to turn into action. That's the leap. And here's the truth. It's never going to feel comfortable. It's never going to feel safe. And you'll never feel 100% ready. If you wait until all the lights turn green before you leave your house, you'll never go anywhere. The same is true for your dream. At some point, you gotta jump. Now, let me be real with you. When you jump, your parachute doesn't open right away. You're gonna scrape your back on the rocks, you're gonna hit some bumps, you're gonna feel the fear of free fall. That's the part people don't talk about. They want the flight without the fall, but falling is part of the process. It's in the fall that you learn resilience. It's in the fall that you discover strength you didn't know you had. And if you hold on long enough, that parachute, your gift, your purpose, it's gonna open. And when it does, you'll soar higher than you ever imagined. The reason most people never experience that level of life is because they never take the leap. They let fear hold them hostage. They keep waiting for the perfect time, not realizing that the perfect time doesn't exist. All you get is now. And if you don't move on now, you look up years later with nothing but regret, wondering what could have been. Taking the leap doesn't mean you won't be scared. It means you trust God more than you trust your fear. It means you believe that even if you fall, He's got you. That leap is where faith gets real. That leap is where you stop talking about the dream and start living it. So don't keep standing on the edge, staring at what's possible. Jump, because the life you want, the success you desire, the person you're meant to become, is all waiting on the other side of that leap. Gratitude unlocks more. Here's another hidden secret: gratitude. You can't get more if you ain't grateful for what you already got. Start every day by thanking God, not for the mansion, not for the car, but for the breath in your body, the roof over your head, the chance to try again. Gratitude changes your attitude, and your attitude determines your altitude. Gratitude is one of those things people overlook when they're chasing success. Everybody wants more money, more recognition, more opportunities, but they forget to appreciate what they already have. And that's the problem. You can't attract abundance if your heart is full of complaints. You can't receive blessings if all you're focused on is what you don't have. Gratitude is like a magnet. It draws more of what you appreciate into your life. Most people think gratitude is just saying thank you when things are going well, but real gratitude is deeper than that. It's waking up in the morning and being thankful for breath in your lungs, for a roof over your head, for the chance to try again, for the lessons you've learned even through struggle. It's recognizing that even when life isn't perfect, there's still something to be grateful for. That shift in mindset changes everything. Let me tell you something. When I started appreciating the little things, everything started opening up. Doors I thought were closed began to crack. Opportunities I didn't see before started showing up. people responded to me differently because I wasn't walking around with a negative energy. Gratitude changes your attitude, and your attitude determines your altitude. If you walk through life looking at what you lack, you'll stay small. But if you walk through life seeing blessings everywhere, your life will expand. And here's the secret. Nobody tells you gratitude isn't just about feeling good. It's about creating momentum. When you're grateful, you're more patient, more generous, more willing to work hard because you see the value in the process. You stop rushing through life trying to get to the next thing and start appreciating the journey. So every day, find something to be thankful for, even if it's small. Thank God for your health, your family, your struggles, your dreams. Write it down. Speak it out loud. Let it fill your heart. Because the more grateful you are for what you have, the more the universe and God will give you to be grateful for. Gratitude unlocks the door to more, and that's a secret the successful have always known. 10. The final secret, never quit. And let me close with this. The biggest secret nobody tells you is simple. The only way you fail is if you quit. See, success don't belong to the fastest, the smartest, or the luckiest. It belongs to the one who refuses to give up. You may be delayed, but you ain't denied. You may be broke right now, but you're not broken. As long as you got breath, you got another chance. So the next time somebody asks you what sets the secret to success, tell them this. Is vision, is failure, is faith, is using your gift, is never quitting. That sets the secret, and now you know it. The biggest secret nobody tells you about success is simple. Never quit, plain and simple. You can have talent, you can have vision, you can have faith, but if you quit, none of it matters. The only way you truly fail is when you stop. Every setback, every rejection, every mistake, you can recover from those. But quitting is permanent. That's the one thing that guarantees you'll never reach your potential. See, success doesn't belong to the fastest, the smartest, or the luckiest. It belongs to the person who refuses to give up, the person who keeps showing up, even when it feels like the world is against them, the person who keeps knocking, even when the door is slammed in their face, the person who keeps believing, even when nobody else does. That's the kind of persistence that separates the winners from the quitters. I can tell you, from my own life, that quitting would have been the easy way out. There were times I had nothing, no money, no home, no fans, and no support. But I kept going. I kept performing, kept writing, kept dreaming. Every no I got, every failure I experienced was just a stepping stone to the yes that would change everything. And it did. But it only happened because I refused to quit. You may feel delayed. You may feel like your efforts aren't paying off, but delay is not denial. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. Every great story, every inspiring journey is full of moments where quitting would have been easier. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple. They keep going. So don't give up. Don't let fear, doubt, or discouragement steal your dream. Keep moving forward. Keep learning. Keep growing. Keep believing. Because as long as you're still in the fight, your breakthrough is still coming. Remember this, the only true failure is quitting. Stay in the race, trust the process, and you will win.